The movie starts in the evening in Paris, and Philip's Maserati Quattroporte is being driven aggressively by Driss. They are quickly being pursued by the police. Still, Driss is undeterred and doubles down with Philip, believing they can secure. Driss uses Philip's quadriplegia as an excuse to justify his reckless speeding. Philip poses as having a stroke, and the duped police officers ultimately accompany them to the hospital. Philip wonders what they will do once the cops leave them at the hospital, and Driss responds, "Now let me take care of it," as they drive away. After that, a flashback of the two men's story occupies nearly the remainder of the movie. Wealthy quadriplegic Philip and his aide Magali are interviewing potential live-in caregivers for his opulent Parisian mansion. Candidate Driss has no intention of being hired to continue receiving his welfare payments. He is only there to obtain a signature attesting to his interview and rejection. He flirts with Magali openly and in an incredibly casual manner. He is instructed to return the following day to pick up his signed letter. Driss returns to the cramped apartment he and his large family occupy in a desolate Parisian district. After 6 months he didn't hear from him. His aunt orders him to vacate the apartment. The following day, Driss comes to Philip's estate and discovers, much to his astonishment, that he is currently on trial for the live-in caregiver position. When he learns the full degree of Philip's impairment, he follows Philip around. He is amazed to see a totally different way of life. According to a friend of Philip, Driss has a criminal history that includes serving 6 months in prison for robbery. Because he is the only person who treats Driss as an equal rather than with sympathy or compassion, Philip claims he is unconcerned with Driss's past. He promises to be fired if he performs his current work well. Driss and Philip get closer over time. Driss does his duty in tending to his employer, who frequently experiences phantom pain. Driss hears from Philip that his paragliding accident left him crippled and that his wife died childlessly. Driss gradually persuades Philip to impose some discipline in his personal life, including being stricter with his adoptive daughter Elisa. She acts like a spoilt child around the employees. Driss learns about opera and traditional and modern art and even starts painting. A special classical music event is given for Philip's birthday in his living room. Driss is initially quite resistant to Philip's music, but he eventually persuades him to pay closer attention. The music Driss enjoys is then played to Philip, encouraging everyone in the room to start dancing. Driss learns that Philip's only communication with Eleanor, a woman who resides in Dunkirk, is through letters. Philip is reluctant to meet Driss because he worries about how she will respond when she learns about his condition. Philip is eventually persuaded to call Eleanor by Driss. Driss convinces Philip to give her a picture of him in a wheelchair. Still, Philip hesitates and asks his assistant Yvonne to send a picture of him before the accident. Eleanor and Philip decide on a date. Before Eleanor arrives, Philip decides that he is too nervous to see Eleanor and leaves with Yvonne. Then Philip phones Driss and asks him to fly in his private plane for a weekend of paragliding. Philip hands Driss an envelope containing 11,000 euros, the price he could receive for the artwork Driss had sold to a friend under the pretense that it was by a new artist. Adama, Driss's younger cousin, seeks refuge in Philip's mansion after getting into difficulty with a gang. Driss confides in Philip about his family and upbringing in France after being adopted by his then childless aunt and uncle as an orphan in Senegal. After his uncle passed away and his aunt had additional children, his adoptive parents started having their own children. Philip relieves Driss from his work after recognizing his need to provide for his family and commenting that he may not want to push a wheelchair all his life. Driss rejoins his buddies in the suburbs and manages to assist his younger cousin. He obtains employment with a transport firm due to his recent professional experience. Philip has hired caregivers to take Driss' place, but he is still looking for more of them. When he loses motivation, he stops caring for himself. Yvonne is concerned. She calls Driss, who shows up there and chooses to take Philip to the Maserati, returning the plot to the film's opening police chase sequence. Driss immediately drives Philip to the beach when they manage to avoid the cops. Philip and Driss come to a Coburg restaurant with a fantastic ocean view after shaving and getting dressed stylishly. Driss abruptly gets up from the table and wishes Philip luck on his lunch date. Eleanor shows up a short while later, but Philip still cannot understand. Philip is crying when he glances out the window and sees Driss smiling. As the movie closes, Driss bids Philip goodnight and leaves. Thanks for watching. For more content, please subscribe to the channel.